So, when we look at the Department of Education on Tuesday, announced a series of, steps in more ways than one, a series of steps, it is a series of steps it is taking to combat anti Semitism, and other forms of discrimination. Yeah, I wonder how you did that for black people in Africa still in slavery by the Arabs and the Ottoman Turks and all y'all rest of y'all clown ass motherfuckers call yourself superior and share the same phenotype any fucking way along with the dumb ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? But we see where, he has, went in and said that he is going to take steps to combat the rise of anti Semitism and other forms of discrimination amid Israel Hamas war. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's lying. Creep Joe Biden is singing and dancing a song that you want to hear. So you will elect the demon Democrats and keep them in power. He's not going to do what I just read. And even if he do, there will be no effect of the changes to discrimination in any shape or form. You see, because these motherfuckers have dug in deep. And the riches and the shit that they have raided out of Africa, you would not believe, they're priceless. Many things that they took out of Africa are what we call price. There is no price to them. And they have used in the value of these things in order to enrich themselves. Now, even when we look at oil and gas and many other minerals that they're digging up out of Africa and using the African people to dig it up under slavish conditions, you know what I'm saying, tells us that you're not superior in any shape or form. What it is that Africa is your breadbasket probably and you're full of shit. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he's saying Israel is not a country. Why do you keep speaking or calling it Israel Hamas? Hamas is a group fighting against the occupying force, a group of people that move into Africa and criminally rename it Israel. Ra as the sun god Ra of Akhenaten, and Akhenaten and the worship of the sun god. Ra, that's in the middle. Notice it's in the middle of the word Israel. Pay attention. Get over to General Sorrow Sultan City and get your learning on. But he said we can't stand by and stand silent in the wake of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia incident. But you, the Islams, and you, the Jews, in many ways have committed atrocities and enslavement of African people and many other groups, probably across the planet. It doesn't matter whether you did it then or you did it to this group now. You have facilitated many discrimination, anti-Semitism, and many other crimes against humanity, and you want to call yourself a nation in Africa by you invading and occupying and then beating up, and now you're destroying Gaza with your bombardment of straight trash supported by the United States and the fake ass leadership that we have. Not the United States as far as all the people. When I say, see, that's what they want the other people in the world to see when they use the word our, we, you know what I'm saying, our country, America, United States. They're telling the people outside of the United States that it's all of us till they start to look at it and see the protests and the this and the that and realize that we don't all agree with it. I advise anybody in all nations to do the same. That's like like we get a news report and it says uh, Mexico. 95% of the people over here will see the whole landmass of South America as Mexico. Or all the people over there is Mexicans. That's racist and anti-Semitic. But at the same time, that's like me going over there, you know what I'm saying, and doing some bullshit to them, enslaving them, doing all kinds of shit to them over years and years and years. And then when the people retaliate and protest, you know what I'm saying? We're saying it's all of them in South America. Every single one in South America agrees with the nonsense that we did to them and now they're fighting back. So it's a whole of them. So when we look at Ukraine and the Russian situation and he's to the United States, he's trying to say that it's all of us who agrees with what he's doing in Ukraine and in Africa with Israel, the occupying invasional people calling themselves, criminally renaming the area and the land, Israel and Hamas. And y'all over there blowing each other to smithereens. And Israel is trying to say, and America is trying to say, that we agree with that. You did not all of Americans, but the elected officials that you elect in office. And then when you ask them to do something, after electing them, they give you their ass. All up their ass. Don't get it twisted. When I use those phrases, it's not homophobic. I'm not gay in any shape or form. But that's what they give you. Their stinking dirty ass. Because you have to constantly keep protesting, suing, go to court, and so forth on. And anybody outside of the United States should not agree to look at the situation and say it's all of us. Same as we see in Africa. We don't agree with what the fuck is going on over there. And we know the atrocities will make anybody throw the fuck up. Between the pedophilia highway and the pedophilia paradise over there with little young girls and shit, and it's being allowed. To where these people, many white and black, will go over to Zimbabwe and different countries and call it pedophilia highway because they're over there sleeping with a 6-year-old girl. Probably even 3. And because it's allowed over there, and probably even in South America, certain places, you know what I'm saying, and many other places across the planet, that all of us in the U.S. agrees with it. Every single one of us. We agree with this nonsense. This is how COVID-19 was able to gain traction. This is how AIDS, biological attacks, we call them, were able to gain any form of traction. Because you can continue to support the beastly people, or the beastly, whatever the fuck they are, because they ain't human in no shape or form. And we need to investigate to make sure whether or not they are. Look at Bill Gates, for instance, calling himself a philanthropist and a computer so-called genius. And then his involvement in our medical field, his involvement in the global spectrum all over the earth, traveling the earth, building stupid shit up in the mountains, look like Stonehenge and all kinds of garbage ass. These people are sick in their brains, I'm telling you. You're electing fucking psychopath, necromaniac, bubblehead, twist. You don't have enough words to describe the nastiness that go on. Right here in America, underground, hiding places, big mansions they got up in the mountains, deep in the pedophilia like a motherfucker. Killing and eating of people and all kinds of nastiness. Will make you throw up if you've seen it with your own very eyes. So to say that is all of us is a bold-faced lie. To say that is the United States, which means all of us, is a bold-faced lie. To say in all shapes and forms, we, our, is bullshit. and you know it. So when you hear these words spoken by our so-called criminally elected officials, don't believe what they're telling you in that form, because you know full well by the protest and what's carrying on, and they also know how to drive the protest. Don't think that they don't know. They know how to create a situation that I have American people or the United States people, the ones with some sense and the ones that know the wrong from right, out there protesting and being driven by their corruptive moves that they did. They know that. Why do you think they do them? But what we have to see here now is when this take place, you cannot have a Palestinian and a fake ass Israel group out there protesting. If you stand for a ceasefire and the truth in itself, then there should be a unification between the two, not a separation and a head on head collision. This must stop. Because you're bringing garbage to our country, first of all. Because we already had 40, 50, 60 years of assassination, killing, murdering, and straight garbage that has exposed the United States government and whoever is in control of the government, inside the government, has exposed themselves. That's a fact. So what are we looking at here? So what are we looking at here? In more ways than one. And just by using the educational department, you know what I'm saying, and talking about education, they always jump up and say that too. After causing all this terrorists and Helm and Hammond, and the first thing they say, oh yes, so now we're gonna do something about it nice and slow, you know. I'll get back with y'all next week. And next week we might, next year or maybe the next 20 years. Tomorrow. And we might look at the Department of Education on Tuesday to announce a series of steps to take, you know, to combat the rise in anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, you know, I see you guys over there banging each other head across the ground. So we know that both groups or criminals and can be criminal, it is in itself. You know what I'm saying? But we see Brute Plumel, an NYPD cop who asked them to stop smoking weed at New York subway. I guess these guys, two black guys, beat the guy up because he asked them to stop smoking marijuana, you know, the ganji, in New York subway station. I don't think you should smoke it in the subway station either, especially underground. I don't think you should do that. Second of all, you have children. See, this is what I'm talking about, the inappropriate shit they do. Inappropriate shit they do. And then want to be right in itself. And then when asked, you get offended and you want to fight. This is ignoramus in itself. You should not be smoking marijuana in the subway, underground in the subway, or anywhere near the subway. Couldn't you find a park or a decent place, an open area where you could smoke your marijuana and so forth on? So we see a lot of this is created to create conflict in itself. You know what I'm saying? And the guys were arrested. So, you know, it is what it is. Because I think it was stupid. I would have just out my spliff or out my blunt and walk off. I said, all right. And now they're outed. Come up out of the subway and go over there and smoke. Maybe across the street. Maybe down at the end of the platform or something, you know, outside. I don't know. But it was a stupid thing to get arrested for. But at the same time, we see House Republicans of Alford. Alford, or whatever his name is a Republican. I would never judge the President Donald J. Trump. I would never judge the President Donald J. Trump baby, for saying some American for saying some American lives like vermins. This is coming in by CNN lying ass bullshit news 21 hours ago. But we see here where Congressman Mark Alford told uh, Cassie Hunt, or whatever her name is, that he would never judge Donald J. Trump, chubby baby, but he stopped short of endorsing the president in 2024. I wonder why. Mhm. We see Zelensky, crooked, twisted ass, trying to turn the psychological bullshit the other way. I'm telling you, Ukrainians, get rid of this clown. Cut that racist, neo-Nazi, criminal, screwball, birth defect, brain bullshit that y'all got. Grow to fuck up and get a better president or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. But get a better one and get rid of Zelensky. Period. Period. Zelensky invites Trump to Ukraine and say the president can't bring peace because of Putin. You can't bring peace because of you, jackass. Zelensky, what's wrong with you? Don't try to change the blame any other way, bro. Because the rest of the world ain't seeing it that way. You're a criminal. Period. And there can be no peace with you in the presidency seat. Because your job was to do exactly what we see going on now in Ukraine. So why are you calling Trump to do something when it's your fucking job, you clown ass bird nose looking wide head son of a bitch? You garbage, nigga. And that's a fact. Now you need to get up off of Donald Trump back and do your job, you childish motherfucker. We don't want to hear that. Talking about because of Putin. No, because of you, bro. Don't try to change it now. You're a clown. And that's a fact. So I'm gonna leave it there because I gotta go. This is Point Black saying, stay right, stay tight, stay fight. I'm coming back for the fight. We ain't done yet. Because we gonna fight. Even though we have to fight you tonight. So this is Point Black saying, farewell. One. We will meet again.